whole crisis is over, those who are resilient, those who are courageous, those of us who are creative, optimistic, and will bounce back and will find ways to recover and rebuild, it might be an era for great opportunities for everyone. Alam mo, after this crisis is over, this is a great opportunity for everyone, even non-investors in stock market, to really go into it and build up whatever savings in the stock market. During this crisis of the world stock market, everything is on discount, everything. But you cannot discount good management, you cannot discount good track record. There are companies in the Philippines that during World War II, before World War II, has always been consistently honest, consistently excellent, consistently good. Baka you can give a list of companies that no matter what happens to the world, everybody should invest in. I'm excited about that. Whatever happens to the whole world, which I think naman will come out stronger, hopefully better. The Philippines, before this crisis, we have one of the best economies in the world, in Asia. So I think that doesn't change the reality pa. Ibig sabihin, we will be hard hit like everybody else, but we are coming from a strong economic base and fundamentals are very positive. So after this is over, I think among the countries in Asia that will recover very well would be the Philippines. So we should all be ready and work hard and be part of that recovery. It's a parang sigurado niya, it's not a matter of if it will happen or not. It's a matter only of when.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone watching or good evening wherever you are in the world. We have Wilson Flores, master entrepreneur, real estate expert, columnist. Sobrang galing sa business and very, very timely at this point in time now we listen to his inputs, we listen to his insights because I think in times like this, it's nice to hear the thoughts of people who have gone through also different cycles sa economy also and mabibigyan nila tayo ng insights nila. So, Wilson, how are you?
Good afternoon, Marvin. I'm fine. Kahit na bored tayo minsan, we are okay and hoping na after ilang weeks sana, hopefully this will be better for the whole world.
How's your businesses doing? How's the real estate
real estate in general is almost stopped right now because no offices, people are not going out. I foresee most transactions will be frozen in the next few weeks or even months. But unusually, I got into another business because of real estate, which is I bought the oldest bakery in Quezon City. It is considered an essential service now. So we are allowed to open every day. And nagulat, our sales every day is 3 times, 4 times the usual normal sales every day. Ang sabi ko nga sa tao namin to tell our customers, do not panic buy, do not do panic buying of breads or hoarding of breads kasi number one, yung mga breads ng Kamuning Bakery Cafe, no preservatives, so it does not last more than 3-4 days. And we bake every day fresh, kaya wag sila magpanic. Nakausap ko the flour millers in the Philippines. We have more than enough flour in this whole country from all the neighborhood bakeries.
Wow. Galing It's nice to hear stories like this kasi madaming tao medyo takot ngayon, especially madaming sarado and buti kayo bukas kayo. Paano nangyari? People are allowed to go out, they can buy and pick up, parang take out lang lahat.
Very good question, Marvin. Very good your question, Marvin. Number one, every family yata is allowed one person who can go out to the grocery, supermarket, drugstores, and even, nagulat ako, the neighborhood bakeries. And number two, luckily for us, sa Kamuning Bakery Cafe na 81 years old in Quezon City, we followed the old owners' old-fashioned tradition. Alam mo anong old-fashioned tradition nila here, Marvin? All the
familiar.
members and the staff, they have free board and lodging as part of their compensation. It's an old-fashioned way of running things. Kasi when everybody is sleeping, alam mo, the bakers, yung mga panadero, like the farmers in the rural areas, like the fishermen in the rural areas, before we are all sleeping pa, they're already up and working na every morning. So hindi pwedeng, we cannot have late and absences. So the best way to stop all these problems is to have free board and lodging for the bakers. So we continue to operate every day. Yung mga neighborhood bakeries in the Philippines, hanggang France, Marvin, magugulat ka. You Google lang, bakeries in France, bakeries in the Philippines, you'd be amazed, sales of bakeries are double, triple the normal everywhere. Yung mga baguette bakers of France daw, they're selling so much kasi it's a basic need of everyone. And some people, psychologically, they want bread or something.
Okay.
So there are some businesses, Marvin, during these bad times that are doing unusually well, like the alcohol companies, the sanitizer companies. Of course, we are not happy with crisis, but in every crisis, we should look for things to do or opportunities or to survive.
Ito question ko. Sa mga taong nasa bahay ngayon, yung mga walang income, ano pa, bukod sa alcohol, sanitizer, baking of bread, do you have any suggestions for them right now para at least kahit paano kung business yung normal business sila tumigil pero meron pa rin silang sources of revenue, ano pwede nilang gawin?
Very good yan. I think this is a great opportunity for everyone, whatever our profession or business is, to self-study and to improve our mind. I think this is an occasion for us to research and analyze ourselves. Like, how are we in our situation, in our lives right now? What are the things that we have wanted to change before, or we have wanted to learn, but we keep saying we don't have time. We don't have time to take care of our health before. We don't have time to sleep properly 8 hours a day. We don't have time to do a little exercise. Maybe education, like whatever professions we are into, maybe learn a new language. Learn Mandarin, learn Spanish, improve our English, read books about our profession. And plan for the future, plan for recovery, plan for what will we do the moment this is over, and whether our business is small or big, whether our professions in what field, what are the changes we can do. Siguro this is a very great opportunity for research and development sa personal natin, in our personal lives, in our family lives, in our businesses. I think this is one way. And also, Marvin, there are many ways to earn money now online. Like people could start maybe teaching English or writing online. People could do teaching other things, online education. Maybe this is one opportunity people could explore. Do you know, 1 or 2 years ago, the Philippine ambassador to Beijing, Chito Santa Romana, brought me and other journalists to see a big company in Beijing and Shanghai. Alam mo what business we can do in the Philippines that is big business? Many people in the Philippines are good at English. We could do online teaching English to the wealthy young people and students all over China, Japan, Korea.
Wow.
That is one thing we can do. There's a big, huge demand now for English teachers in China. You don't have to leave your homes. You don't have to be an OFW. You just have to have good internet, good phone, and whatever facilities. uh, you can hook up with certain big companies in China, mga listed Shanghai or China companies, and you could earn so much money now teaching English in your home. I heard that.
Yeah,
There
that's
are many.
that's very, very true. No, there's so many ways dahil sa internet you can leverage that, and I think that's one of the advantages of Filipino. Sobrang galing natin mag-English. That's why we can do that and sell that to other countries also.
And we are more patient than the Westerners now. I heard I heard from the Shanghai and other wealthy customers now in China. It's not only that we have good English in the Philippines. It's because in the Philippines we are Asian. We have some similarities with the Chinese culture, na family-oriented, mass personalized. We are more personable teachers now than the Westerners. More patient now, more motherly, more fatherly daw tayo, friendly daw, I heard.
Wow, galing. So I like what you said, no, that you always look for the opportunity and you use this time para ma-position ka for the better. Hindi, madami kasi, medyo nalulungkot din talaga sila, and rightfully so naman, this is something that's very, very different na hindi pa natin naramdaman. May question naman ako para sa mga tao na, as in, employment nila, walang pumapasok na pera sa kanila, negosyo nila sarado kasi, bawal sila mag-operate ngayon. What do you suggest for people naman na walang cash flow ngayon, tapos meron silang kailangan pasweldohan na employees, syempre kailangan din nila i-consider yon. What's a way
very big
float?
Yes, it's not only including me and everyone. I think number one, we should look for. I know there are Department of Labor mga regulations now advising especially small and medium enterprises on how we could legally parang delay all these bank payments, all these obligations. I heard that major banks in the Philippines and in the world are lenient now about these mga obligations. And then the wages naman, there are mga regulations now on how we could help each other, the employees and the employer. Yung parang somewhere in between.
Okay.
The companies could assist the employees with their daily food and whatever emergencies without fully giving out everything kasi walang income most companies right now. At saka ang maganda dito, Marvin, it's not only like a few people, everybody dito equally hit. We are all hit, almost everyone. So it's a totally new learning experience. Alam mo, it reminds me, di pa tayo pinanganak to 1930s, there was this era called the Great Depression. I think possible the world might enter into something similar, not that horrible naman siguro, not that horrible. We are, I think, more psychologically prepared and financially prepared yung buong mundo. But don't forget, Marvin, I have not yet studied in detail pa, but I came across an article recently, I had not yet read in depth. Now, do you know ba in the Great Depression, which is possibly the world's most horrific economic slowdown in the last 100, 200 years, alam mo ba, in America, that was the period where they created the most number of millionaires also.
Wow.
Ibig sabihin, what I mean is, in every crisis, after the whole crisis is over, those who are resilient, those who are courageous, those of us who are creative, optimistic, and will bounce back and will find ways to recover and rebuild, it might be an era for great opportunities for everyone.
Wow.
I remember si Mr. John Gokong Jr. when he was a kid. Depression, then World War II. I remember what he told me. He was a teenager at that time, buying, selling in the streets during World War II. He said he felt everyone in the world was equal. Nobody was born like with parang everybody has a chance to do anything, starts from scratch. So we should look at it the other way also. During this very difficult circumstance when everybody's a little bit fearful, worried, and no cash flow, we should think what are the possibilities afterwards. What can we do? So during crisis, what I hear from older people, like during the Asian crisis now, some of the best businessmen, do you know what they did? They tried to reinforce their health. They tried to exercise, eat healthily, sleep well. The things that we cannot change in the world, like the total world economy, the world pandemic situation beyond our control, we try to control what we can, which is our health, our family, protect our health, our family, protect our self motivation, our psychology by being positive thinking and learning and being optimistic.
Wow. Amazing. I mean,
In a suggestion.
I like your mindset. I've been doing a lot of interviews over the past few days with a lot of entrepreneurs, and yun yung napansin ko, that's what differentiates people in crisis like this, yung outlook nila on the situation, that hindi, they try to find ways on paano sila makakaalis doon, that when things, kasi we will always get through this pero what you do in the midst of crisis is what determines how good your business will be or your finances will be at this time also. Kaya ang galing mo, Wilson, sobrang galing mo, yung mindset mo super lakas.
I should learn from people like you, Marvin. What you're doing, Marvin, is very good also. Kasi, alam mo, exciting. I'm excited also for you because you're the stock market expert and you encourage people from all walks of life to save their money in the stocks. Alam mo, after this crisis is over, this is a great opportunity for everyone, even non-investors in stock market, to really go into it and build up whatever savings in the stock market. I look forward to your, like maybe you have a list of, these are good companies, whether there's a world crisis or not. So during this crisis of the world stock market, everything is on discount, everything. But you cannot discount good management, you cannot discount good track record. There are companies in the Philippines that during World War II, before World War II, has always been consistently honest, consistently excellent, consistently good. Baka you can give a list of companies that no matter what happens to the world, everybody should invest in. I'm excited about that. So we should have this positive thinking. And isa pa, Marvin, whatever happens to the whole world, which I think naman will come out stronger, hopefully better. The Philippines, before this crisis, we have one of the best economies in the world, in Asia. So I think that doesn't change the reality pa. Ibig sabihin, we will be hard hit like everybody else, but we are coming from a strong economic base and fundamentals are very positive. So after this is over, I think among the countries in Asia that will recover very well would be the Philippines. So we should all be ready and work hard and be part of that recovery. It's a parang sigurado na yan. It's not a matter of if it will happen or not. It's a matter only of when.
Wow. Well said. I can sige, I'll make that list also for the stock market. I like what you said also about above and beyond looking at the numbers, look at the leadership. Sino yung mga nag-survive sa test of time also. And
please give us a list, Marvin. I suggest, Marvin, come up with a list of like 20 companies that you think after the COVID crisis is over will bounce back strongly, will be very good because they have good management, they have good reputation, they have good existing facilities, or they are doing well or surviving. That will bounce back definitely very strongly. So for all the ordinary people to invest in.
Galing. Lalagay ko doon number 21, Kamuning Bakery.
Ay, masarap magdilang anghel ka para in the future we can be somewhere there.
May question ako. You mentioned about crisis no, and bouncing back from crisis. Yung 1997 Asian financial crisis was a real estate crash. Based on what's happening, do you think today magkakaproblema tayo sa real estate? Context na, for example, madaming mawalan ng trabaho, madaming business hindi okay, baka hindi sila makabayad ng loans. Is it possible na babagsak yung real estate prices natin?
I think there will be an adjustment of real estate prices even before this COVID crisis. I already foresee some adjustment kasi there are political noises before this crisis by some politicians criticizing the pogo industry. The pogo industry, whether we like it or not, has been very strong in the real estate industry and construction in the last 2-3 years. They've been a big driver of aggressive growth, high rentals, and everything. Suddenly, in the last few weeks and months before the COVID crisis became worse, there were many political noises about the pogo, and I even read news that the Chinese government itself is against pogo in the Philippines, yung proliferation. So weeks before this COVID crisis, there were definitely reports of Chinese government crackdown on the pogo workers using the passports nila, trying to hold the, I'm trying to squeeze the situation, but the proliferation of pogo wouldn't be so fast, or maybe they wanted to clamp down. So even before this COVID crisis, there's already negative pressure on the real estate market. And then when this COVID crisis came along, affecting the whole world economy, not just the Philippines, we are now on a standstill almost. I foresee that this combination of different negative factors will dampen real estate demand. Kasi there's the investment demand, there's the speculative factor also. I think this is going to cool down real estate industry in the Philippines, but it's not bad. I think it's only natural that when something goes up very high, and if it goes down a little bit, it tapers off, stabilizes. I think it's going to be good in the long run because the Philippine economy is not built lang naman on pogo. The Philippine economy is built on actual, real, many growth factors in the Philippine economy. Like number one, we have a booming tourism industry that has shown the highest growth in the entire history of the Philippines. Ever since Magellan came to the Philippines and Limahong and all this up to now, we have never seen tourism growth in the Philippines that high. Yung growth factors natin. So that in the future will be good for Philippine tourism. Then I hope manufacturing will come back and other industries. I think pogo will be a short-term thing. It will eventually maybe taper off and slowly become quiet sector in the economy. I think real estate in the long run will still be good. Prices might possibly adjust downward, especially the condominiums. And it's not bad news because it would be good for end users in the Philippines. It would be good for people who want to invest and who were not able to buy in the last 2-3 years. There were people complaining also that ang taas sobra, the prices went up too high, too fast. Actually, that's healthy for the economy of the Philippines. So I see the real estate industry in the Philippines will always still be very strong because we have a very good economy, fundamentally sound economy. Number two, we had a tourism industry that has not even reached half the potential. Well, we are not even one half of what Thailand is, and we have more to offer than Thailand. We are not yet as big as Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia in terms of numbers. And I think the Philippine tourism industry will eventually be, if not number one of the top 3 in the whole ASEAN region. Wow. So real estate might be tapering off, might slow down and stabilize in the next few months, maybe this year, but it will still have a long-term good future.
Wow. For people who have cash right now, tama that in times of crisis, you have the opportunity pag may cash ka to buy things cheap. Dun sa real estate naman, should they wait mga 6 months, 1 year for them to see the real effects ng may discount? Tsaka, for those na gusto maghanap ng mga deals na ganyan, ano yung suggestion mo? Paano sila makakahanap ng mga real estate finds? Especially pag Pogo, sabi mo affected, mostly condos yan, no? Yun yung mga matatamaan talaga kasi doon nakatira mga Chinese Pogo workers.
Yes. I agree with you, Marvin. your description is exactly bullseye talaga. During crisis, that what they say is cash is king. So you preserve our cash as much as we can, and not rush into buying. I think this whole year, if this COVID crisis is finished maybe in 1, 2, 3 months, hopefully, I see the entire year as an opportunity for people to look for real estate bargains. Don't rush. Pag real estate, do not rush. Keep on looking, keep on asking. Number one, keep on bargaining. Tawad kayo ng tawad. Ibig sabihin, don't be ashamed. Keep on bargaining, keep on asking for discount. Keep on, if you cannot get a discount, get terms, payment terms, get longer terms. They will be more than happy now compared to before. And also, in real estate, whether good times or bad times, it is always my advice to always not rush. Do not rush. Some people, when they see a house, they're so excited emotionally, they love it, they will just pay for it. You can delay it. Hopefully, like looking around somewhere else nearby, you might be surprised with bargains. Even during good times, there are always bargains. But now, this is bad times for the whole world. This is the best time to buy real estate for end users and investors. There will be a lot of bargains. Marvin, do you know in 2008, during the world crisis in the US, the US triggered financial crisis in 2008. I could not forget when I went to the South. I live in Quezon City. I went to the South in the BF Homes area. It's one of the nicest areas in the South. Alam mo, I remember my driver and I, we were looking around Aguirre Avenue, that main road of BF Homes Parañaque. 2008, I could not forget, every other house, almost every other house has a for sale sign. What does it mean? Almost every 2 or 3 house, there's a sign there for sale. Almost every other house. And it's one of the nicest places in Metro Manila kasi you are near everywhere. It's not too expensive at that time. The only problem at that time, there was no water yet. You have to deliver water, but now the prices are ano na. What I mean is, everywhere during crisis, the real estate will naturally become bargain place for buying. So I suggest when buying real estate, do not rush. Keep on canvassing. Keep on. We in the Philippines, we are good at going to places, asking for prices, and comparing. We should be good at that in real estate all the more. Now is the time to look around. And now and up to the end of the year, I think the entire 2020 is a time for bargain hunting, bargaining, real estate. Do not rush.
Wow. Galing talaga ng insights mo, Wilson. Super, super. My question now is in relation to what's happening to the coronavirus. As of today, while we're filming the video, the number of cases still are increasing. We're in that, I think, second plus week of lockdown. How do you think this will go for us economically? I mean, how long will this last? So that at least people na napapanood to, they can at least project how will they belt tighten sa bahay nila, sa mga negosyo nila, and yun.
That's a very, very good question. Alam mo, that's a very, very good question. My peg or the countries that when I imagine what will happen to us, we hope that the government announced that we will have a 1-month lockdown or community quarantine. So that's from March up to April after Holy Week. I hope that is correct. We cannot predict the future, but based on what happened to China, which is an amazing story that people are not yet appreciating too much, they started having their problems sometime in December. I think December, January was really out in the open. They were surprised. And they had a total lockdown in the Wuhan area and Hubei province, involving 40 to 50 million people. I think total lockdown talaga. na the world has never seen daw. The government, they are very strong-willed kasi. So that took them up to, I heard, March. Now, and they're opening daw, I heard, I read yesterday,
Confirmed,
they're
confirmed.
about
I
to
saw that.
open Wuhan City April. So April, so that means that would be mga 3 months time. So in China, it's 3 months time. In Korea naman, I'm optimistic also because in Korea, they did it a little bit different. They had all these precautions, social distancing, everything that the government is doing now in the Philippines, starting to do more testing. Pero they did not have complete total lockdown of the economy. In the case of Singapore, also like that. So I hope that after April, maybe the Philippines, maybe we can go to a Singapore, South Korea mode already. I hope that we can still go back to life. We could still go to work. We could still go. The economy might open again, but not totally. What I mean is people are still social distancing. There are still many restrictions on crowds, on concerts, on huge rallies and all that. I hope we should all prepare. Ako lang personally, let us psychologically prepare ourselves 2 to 3 months, I think, of abnormal times. I think to be realistic, yung China, South Korea, 2 to 3 months of abnormal circumstances. We should hope for the best, of course, that everything will suddenly get well in the world by April, hopefully. Pero the worst, maybe 2, 3 months, I hope. The good news lang, Marvin, we are very lucky. Nauna muna ang China, South Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan. These are the rich countries in Asia. So they went through the most horrible experiences na we have never seen. They were the parang first to experiment with the hardship. Now that we have seen how they survived the hardship, now that they are rushing testing kits, they are rushing hopefully even medicines and everything, we in the Philippines, hopefully the neighbors of China and Korea and Singapore, we hopefully can benefit from what they have learned. We are gaining from their gift. Singapore just sent testing kits yesterday. China has been giving us so much aid. So I'm thinking maybe the worst, maybe 3 months, 2 months, 3 months of unusual income opportunity drought. But with the government announcing they will release a lot of economic funds now for the SMEs, hopefully for the displaced employees and workers, for small businesses. I hope in 2-3 months time we will come out stronger. But the most important thing right now that we can control ourselves is to take care of our health, our physical, emotional, mental health, our family relationship and health, yun. And then plan for a better future as a stronger, better people.
Galing mo talaga kaya ang galing.
Di pa, matututo pa tayo, Marvin, sa'yo. We should learn from you.
Final words for people that will be watching this. So just so you know, yung the demographic of people watching my YouTube channel, 25 to 45 years old, a lot of them are either entrepreneurs, a lot of them are employees with investments, and some of them are scared, they're panicking, some depressed. Also kasi yung mga mutual funds nila, yung mga stocks nila, laki ng binagsak. What words of wisdom can you leave them in this?
Yes. Ako lang, do not panic, do not be depressed because, alam mo, let's imagine this, for people who bought stocks, who invested with their savings in the last few years, if you feel so sad because it was wiped out, the profits and the gains you've earned, imagine mo what the billionaires, what the top business people, the presidents of the companies and bankers are feeling. They've been wiped out even multiples pa of what we have experienced. But let us study what happened in the past in the history of the world. After the Great Depression, after the 2008 US crisis, after the 1997 Asian crisis, let us study, let us internet research and ask Marvin Hermo what did those who earn a lot, what did they do? How did they position themselves? How did they recover? Hindi to nangyari the first time in the history of the world. During the Great Depression, whole economies were wiped out, whole companies totally disappeared from the map, some of them. But most investors, majority are still back. Some have become richer. In fact, alam mo Marvin, one of the best governors in America today, Illinois Governor Pritzker, alam mo, when I see his face news sa CNN and New York Times and Washington Post, and they're reporting how good this Illinois Governor Pritzker is, do you know why I'm so happy? Because I love history, di ba? Yung ancestor ng Pritzker family na yan that founded the owner of Hyatt Hotel chain, do you know where they got their fortune, their lot of their money? During the Great Depression. Yung ancestors nila were Eastern European Jews, immigrants in the 1900s, 1890s, became very wealthy during the Great Depression. In real estate in Chicago, when everything's going down, when everything was crashing all around them, the ancestors of this guy, this governor of Pritzker ng Illinois, right now, the Nobel Prize for Architecture ang tawag Pritzker Prize. If you are an architect, your dream is to become the world famous Pritzker Prize yun. Don't forget, the ancestor earned a lot of money during the worst times of the Great Depression. So during the worst of times, Marvin, and to all the listeners mo, don't forget this. You can Google it. The Chinese phrase for crisis is pronounced as Wei Ji in Mandarin. Wei Ji, two words siya. Crisis in Chinese made up of two characters. The first character means danger. Wei is danger from Wei Xian, danger, no? Panganib. Then the second word of crisis is Ji. Ji is Ji Hui. Ji Hui meaning opportunity. So nasa mind of all Chinese who have learned the Chinese language, including the Koreans, the Vietnamese, the Japanese, they've learned this. Na in every crisis in the world, whether personal, financial, emotional, romantic crisis, or medical crisis, or world economic crisis, there's always danger of having hurt, that we will be hurt, we will be damaged, or whatever. But there's always built-in opportunity in every crisis. Opportunity to become better, opportunity to grow your business or your profession, opportunity to grow your health, finally, opportunity to finally sleep 8 hours every day and change our body clock siguro, opportunity to examine the way we eat every day and maybe make ourselves healthier, opportunity to be closer to our family members that we don't take care when we were busy, when the economy was doing well, opportunity to maybe pray to God and remember that we are creations of God, that we cannot be ourselves lang, we should remember to pray. So opportunity yan for study and to be better people and to have a better business. Crisis, isa pa Marvin, alam mo, what does not destroy us totally will usually make us stronger. Crisis. Many of the best people in the world went through the worst crisis and became better.
Wow.
So I believe all your listeners will become better people out of this COVID crisis.
Lalo na dahil nadinig ka nila, sobrang I like your perspective kasi meron din history and since we're humans, history always repeats itself. What you do based in light of history allows you to make good decisions in the present also.
Yes. And World War II, don't forget, the Philippines survived World War II. After World War II, we were the worst hit city, Manila, the worst, most destroyed city next to Warsaw, Poland. So many people suffered. The whole city of Manila totally burned, the Sira. But after World War II, we came out one of the best cities in Asia.
Wow.
So this is not the worst yet. And for us, it's a good opportunity to become better people.
Galing. Before I let you go, yung mga taga Quezon City na gustong kumain ng pandesal, ano yung mga binibenta nyo sa community and how can they go to you? How can they reach you?
Yes, dito sa Kamuning Bakery Cafe at Judge Jimenez Street, corner K4 Street in Barangay Kamuning, Quezon City, we are open every day. We don't only sell traditional good pandesal, we also sell the sliced bread. They call it pasty. Sometimes we call it pullman. There are different variations. Meron pang raisin bread. From egg pie to cookies, we sell everything every day because, alam mo Marvin, why we are open? Number one, everybody has to eat. And we believe every loaf of bread, every piece of pandesal that we bake is an act of resistance against despair and fear and worry. Every bread that we help create in this world is hopefully a vote of confidence in normalcy, in hope for the better future. Parang symbol siya na there is still life in us in this world. Parang it symbolizes also our passion and love of life. Ibig sabihin, habang nabubuhay tayo, habang humihinga pa tayo, may pag-asa parati. There's always hope. No matter what our circumstances in life, whatever emotional, financial, economic problems we face in the world, as long as we are alive, it means we have hope, no matter what happens.
Galing.
Kaya we bake every day.
Sa sa 2022, wala kang balak mag-Quezon City Mayor? Feeling ko you will do a good job.
I want to be the student of Marvin Hermon. I look forward. I look forward to all your teachings, your advices, Marvin. Do you know why in the Philippines we have a huge potential to make the Philippine stock market one of the best in Asia? It is not yet even half of our neighbors. And we have a big economy that is growing very fast. So you are one person I want to be a student of talaga.
Grabe naman. But thank you so much for your time, no? And for those that are watching up to the end of this video, if you are learning a lot, comment I'm learning. If you want more of Wilson C. Kamuning Bakery, puntahan nyo siya, bili kayo sa kanila, support them. And if you want more of his insights, comment I want Wilson. So we get to have him more sa video also. So thank you so much, everyone. I hope video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. Wilson, thank you for the time, and I hope that madami silang natutunan sa iyo as well.
Marvin, when this is all over, I want to invite you naman, Marvin, magkwentuhan tayo sa Kamuning Bakery na with coffee and